I want you to know that this is a great honor for us. We treat these guys, I like our South, special because they are our veterans and part of the generation that gave really a whole lot to our future that we have today. I know that, I think it was Dan over here, he received it last month. He was our Humboldt hero. So, without further ado, I'm going to have Ken do a brief summary of what you did in the war and that special thing about.
Well, let me say that I went on the honor flight back to Washington, D.C. a couple of years ago, and that was sponsored by Rotary. By the way, I've been a Rotarian for 59 years, so I've been I didn't, because I never did anything that was very heroic until I went on the honor flight, and all the veterans, you know, would get off the plane in the airports in Washington, and it was amazing to see all the people come around and give us the applause that you've done today for our service. So many of them gave much more than I. I'm one of the youngest World War II veterans. I'm only 92, but that's right. I am one of the youngest. I went in 1944 and was in for 2 years. I got out of the service. While I was in the service, I was a B-29 gunner. It's a central fire control gunner on a B-29. And the various stages you go through, and when you form your crew and you have your final rehearsal, you go to what's called Operational Training Unit. And mine was in Alamogordo, New Mexico. And we flew long missions, 8, 10, 12 hours, I can't remember, but long missions, because these were long flight bombers, the ones that would be used to go from the islands to Japan. We were getting ready for the invasion of Japan. One morning, we were ready to fly. It was 5 a.m. It was pitch black. As a crew member, we took turns standing guard as they started each of the 4 engines, just in case they caught fire. So we are with a big fire extinguisher, and you're praying it doesn't catch fire. But anyway, it's pitch black. Suddenly, boom! It's brighter than day. It's like you were at a ball game, a baseball game, and they hadn't put the lights on yet, and it was 9 or 10 at night, only about twice as bright as that. It was amazing. Immediately, all flights were canceled. We did not take the flight that day. They canceled the flights. They told us an ammunition dump had blown up. About 2 weeks later, when they dropped the first atom bomb, then they told us what we'd seen. I was about 40 miles from the White Sands Proving Grounds when they exploded that first one. And because I was outside on the runway, they're starting the engines, I got the best view. I mean, it was shocking. And we accepted that an ammunition dump blew up until they told us a couple of weeks later what we had actually seen. So that's the one thing that I bring back. I got out of the service No one ever fired at me. I went to Guam, and we were there for about 4 months while they were trying to clean up the Japanese who did not surrender, who were in the caves there. But Air Force, I was not out doing that. Anyway, I got out of the service. I went through 4 years of college. I got greetings. The Korean situation started up. I'd stayed in the reserve, and they recalled me. And so I went into the service. However, this time, although originally I was sent on B-52s, which is the replacement for B-29s, they did air-to-air fueling, and we flew missions of 12, 14 hours and got refueled midway. So that's why we could do it. So we did that. But because of my training, and I see I have broadcasting people here, my degree was in radio and television broadcasting with a minor in public relations. They put me in the public information office at Davis Mountain Air Force Base in Tucson, Arizona. So I spent a year there, and I was going to go to OCS. They accepted me, but then they told us they were going to let us out at the end of the year.
That's always.
So I dropped out before starting, and I got out and I went into radio, starting in Tucson at KTKT. So I'm not much of a hero, but longevity has its rewards. I'm 92 and going strong.
Well, it's our honor from Humboldt County and Vets of America, the Legion, and all your fellow friends and people to say congratulations and present you with this plaque for your home. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your service.